everyone, internet's laziest music nerd, because that's gonna be my slogan now, because I've been very lazy with this channel recently. Uh, Next video is gonna be the Kendrick Lamar thing that I already got done, like the reaction to Euphoria that I already got done, but I haven't posted yet because I'm lazy. Anyway, that's not what we're gonna be talking about today. Today, we're gonna be talking about this new Vince Staples album that came out recently, Dark Times. So basically, I should talk about my history with Vince Staples first. The first Vince Staples album I ever listened to, and which is also the first album I fell in love with, was the self-titled record he put out in 2022, I think. Yeah, and I fell in love instantly when I first heard this. Okay, it was like the first one that I really just I loved. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been messing with some Vince Staples throughout my journey of stuff like that. And I loved his self-titled, obviously. I think it's one of my favorite albums ever. And uh everything else I haven't listened to other than Ramona Park, Broke My Heart, which was other than this one, his other last album, which I thought was okay. Like I thought it was kind of mid. I haven't been listening to it in a while. There's like one song I really go back to consistently, and that's When Sparks Fly, and I haven't listened to it since it came out, so I can't really say for sure, but I remember thinking it was kind of mid, just not really my thing. I like how he was kind of experimenting with summer songs, and yeah, I like Vince Staples when he does summer songs, but I just didn't like it as much as his self-titled. I mean, who knows? I'll go back to that album probably soon, but for now, we're talking about Dark Times. We got this new one. Oh, and yeah, also I haven't listened to his other ones, like the Big Fish Theory and FM and Summertime '08. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I haven't listened to those ones, so I'll probably do like a deep dive into some Vince Staples. But this new one though is pretty good. Okay. Um, so we got the first track. It's supposed to be like this kind of slightly spoken word passage thingy, and I think it's alright. It's a spoken word first track. I mean, well, what else are you gonna get to it with it? You know what I mean? Um, but then we got Black and Blue, which is one of many of my favorite songs on this project. I think the instrumental is pretty good. I like the chorus a lot, like the "so black and blue." I think it's just a nice dark summer bop. Um, Pretty cool, pretty chill. We got Government Cheese, which, if I remember correctly, is the song where he's like, "Don't forget to smile." I think this song is kind of, it talks about kind of the trials and tribulations of like the black community, and just talking about that stuff, and I think that's pretty cool. I think I like some of the choruses on here are pretty good. I like a lot of the choruses on here. um and Vince is pretty chill on this song. A lot of this album is pretty low key. I think one of my favorite ones is Children's Song, which is kind of like, it's kind of like a slightly funny banger on here, and I think one of my favorite ones, well, my second favorite, I should say, is "Shame on the Devil." When I first heard the snippet from this, I thought it was pretty good, and then when I listened to the full thing, I thought this is amazing. I love the flow, I love the beat. Um, uh, I just like how melancholy it is, and just it's pretty cool. I like it, and Etorf. I don't know how to pronounce that. Etuar. Hold on. Let me try to pronounce Etouffee. I just looked it up. It's like a meat and seafood and a gravy mix. That's what it's supposed to mean. I didn't know what it meant until just now. But yeah, that's what the track's called, and it is probably my favorite song on this project. Like, it's the chorus, like, it's got a bouncy summer feel to it, but it's also got that hint of darkness, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, this album is called Dark Times. It's gonna have that type of energy. Um, and yeah, it's a pretty solid song. I think it's one of my favorites. The instrumental's cool. The Liars interlude, it's an interlude. And I think Justin is a weird track for me because it's mostly just a story about Vince falling in love with this woman, and the next thing you know, someone knocks at the door and then tries to grab his gun, but then uh, she comes in and introduces him as her cousin, basically. And I don't know if that's supposed to be like a cover up or what. I haven't been looking through that song very much. It's a cool like storytelling song, but I'm not really going back to it other than if it's like in the context of the album, which I'm not really fully sure, like what it's supposed to be. I don't know really what like the storyline is because I feel like there is a storyline on here. I'm just not really. I haven't been paying attention to it, like because I've only listened to this album fully like 2 times, and like I don't know if there's like a whole storyline or whatever, but yeah, Justin's not a bad track, but like you know, it's obviously gonna be the least replayed. But that doesn't really matter. It's still a good track. It's just I'm gonna replay it less. Um, but then we get Radio, where he talks about kind of this nostalgia of radio shows and whatever. And personally, I didn't really grow up on radio shows. I only know like the Sean Hannity show my dad puts on because he's a something. But yeah, other than that, like I don't really personally get it, but it's still a cool song. Like it's like a different perspective on like just him being nostalgic for the radio, and I think that's cool. I'm yapping a lot in this video. Anyway, Lil Homies is pretty good, and Freeman. But a lot of these tracks, pretty much every single track on here is actually good, and that's what I like about Vince Staples. Whenever he comes out with a short and concise album, and when I say that, I mean like the only basis I can go off of is like the self-titled, and I listened to a little bit of FM, but from what I've noticed at least, he like when he makes a short album, it's guaranteed that pretty much every single song on here will be good. You know what I mean? If I had to pick a bad song, it'd probably be Freeman, but it's not even a bad song. It's just weaker than most of the other ones. And I guess Justin is kind of on the weaker side, but even with that, it's still got the story elements to it, which I think is pretty cool. It's always good to hear some like story in there. But yeah, other than that, I give this album an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a solid album. Solid album. But yeah, next video, which I'm gonna record as soon as I'm done with this, will be me trying to react to. Well, I'm not gonna record myself. I'm gonna do this new thing where like I record myself before I listen to the album when an album comes out, and then after, and then give a full review. I'm trying to be unique, but like the next video is gonna be the Eminem album that's coming out. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out. I'm kind of curious about that. And yeah, I did listen to the Houdini song, and I guess I should give kind of like a brief review while I'm at it. I think the song is okay. Like it's got a good beat. I like how fun and bouncy it. Like, why do I keep saying bouncy? I like how fun it is. Okay, and I get it's supposed to be like a kind of a nostalgic thing for some people, because he's bringing the old Shady back. But I feel like, honestly, I'll talk about this a little bit more. I have a theory, but I'll talk about this when the video comes out. But for now, I just gotta say, like, the song I feel like is heavily reliant on the nostalgia stuff, And I just feel like Eminem's been doing that for years, like bringing back the old Slim Shady, bringing back. And I'm just like, I'm hoping, since it's called The Death of Slim Shady, that I'll go more in depth with this, but I have a theory that basically this song right here is the only song where it really mentions more of Slim Shady, and I feel like that song is gonna be the death of Slim Shady, and the rest of the album is gonna be like him going out of his comfort zone, doing some more stuff. That's the hopeful part of me. Okay, I could be very wrong about that, but um, yeah, that's just a brief little thing. I think the song is good though. It's not bad. I like the music video, but I just feel like it's kind of overdone at this point. He just did it at a point where it's like he can put out all the zaniness, but and he's done this kind of previously, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. Yep, I like the Vince Staples album. I thought the Eminem single was I. That's all I gotta say.